Here's what I do know. The Oklahoma City Thunder.
It's a good matchup.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are a 9.5-point favorite going into Game 1, an overwhelming favorite to win the NBA Finals. To me, it does feel like this is going to be a much more competitive matchup than maybe they have it laid out here. For example, Celtics-Mavericks last year ended in 5 games, probably should have ended in 4. I just don't see this being a 4 or 5 game series. I don't know. Like I feel like Indiana's got a little bit too feisty. Indiana's got good players. Indiana's deep, not as deep as Oklahoma City, but it feels like this is going to be a much better matchup than maybe some people are expecting up to this point.
In my mind, I believe that to be the case, but I just don't know. I really don't. I feel like this could go – it could go 3 ways. One, which everybody's going to be like, duh. But, I mean, one, it could be what everybody – it could be what everybody expects it to be, right? It's OKC. They overwhelm them. They win the game. They cover. That's clearly what a lot of people may be thinking. Then there could be the idea of – Indianapolis, the Pacers making a game and winning the game and shocking the world and shocking the system. And, okay, now we have a series. And then there's the third one where it's like it's ultra competitive. And I would love to see ultra competitive. To be honest, for Game 1, I wouldn't have a problem seeing the Pacers pull off the upset just so it disrupts what everybody's probably already expecting. But I'll be interested to see, can the Pacers play with OKC? Can they keep up with the pace of OKC when, in fact, we know that the Pacers are a team that plays with a fast pace? So it should be a good matchup because both teams are able to play at a high pace. In the last series, you saw with Karl Anthony Towns and some of the other bigs, they just couldn't. The Knicks got overwhelmed by the pace of the Pacers. No pun intended, I guess. But that, to me, was the difference in that series. It wasn't that they were so much more talented. It was just that their ability to play at a higher pace overwhelmed them. On the other side of it, when you look at OKC, you're looking at a team that played some hellified defense against the Timberwolves and were able to play at a high pace that overwhelmed the Timberwolves. So they were able to get back, play defense, stay in front of the Timberwolves, play defense, and they're transitioning. The things that they were doing were so fast. They were on them so fast that they couldn't handle it. So to see that being the matchup, I think, obviously matchups make what it's going to be, and so to me, I think it seems like it should be a good series. It really does. Now,
Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, who, you and Brady have accused me of looking like a vampire. Yep. Petros Papadakis, our Wednesday tradition here on the show. He
looks like a vampire too.
Yeah, well, Petros has said that Adam Silver looks like an old school vampire.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he called it
old school
his vampiric ways or something along those lines.
Petros be having it, don't he? And he be having the lines for you.
So Adam Silver did open up his box yesterday, and he was on with FS1.
It's great.
He was on Breakfast Ball on Fox Sports 1, and he discussed the matchup and a little bit of a comp between maybe the NBA Finals and the Super Bowl.
It's one thing I really admire about the NFL. I mean, if we were going into a Super Bowl and it was Packers against Steelers, you guys would be celebrating that. Those would be storied franchises. People wouldn't be talking about the fact that Pittsburgh is a small market. So I'm happy whatever team ends up in the finals, but it's been intentional from our standpoint to create a system, a collective bargaining agreement that allows more teams to compete. And just by way of background, we're going to have to go through a process of getting to the point where people are accustomed to tuning into the finals because it's the two teams that deserve to be there, and it's the best basketball. Similar to, again, with the Super Bowl, if I asked somebody if they were going to watch the Super Bowl, they wouldn't say who's playing. It's a national holiday.
Yeah. I'd probably steer clear of comparing anything to the Super Bowl. I mean, just me personally. Like, and
it's one game. Like, he's – I don't know. You got to speak in a way where you make some justifications because he's the leader of the NBA, and I get that. I understand where he's coming from, but you're talking about a possibility of 4 games at the least, 7 games at the most, and there's so many games before that to get there. So I think that it's just different. You're not going to be – I feel like it's almost impossible for the popularity that football holds in America. I feel like it's very difficult to think that you could build a viewership or an interest level that high when there's that many games. I just think that the idea of knowing that you only get so much time with football, and listen, it's not that it's like the seasons are any shorter or longer. It's just you only get so much time. Like during the course of the week, I only get one time to see my team. It's not 2 times a week for the duration of however long 6-month period of time. It's not that. You get them once a week, and it creates a different type of value in my estimation. So when you have all these games, like how many games is it? 83, 85?
82.
82? Like,
I mean, some would say 83 too many. But again, that's not me. I don't want to be negative here.
It's just too many games to me, it's just too many games to be able to create that level of buy-in and commitment to it. So
the other issue is, to your point, as far as the Super Bowl being 1 game and the NBA Finals being 7, the problem is, like, for example, we knew pretty early on, even before halftime, that the Chiefs were finished. Like, It was over. Like, you weren't beating Philly. It just wasn't happening. It wasn't their day. Like, everything was going wrong. And Kansas City, scored a little bit in the second half. It was like, okay, whoop-de-doo. But everybody knew, all right, that game was a wipeout. Final score, not indicative of what the game actually was. But you're overcoming dealing with a blowout with 1 game. And so you've got 1 game to really worry about keeping your audience. In the NBA, if OKC goes up 3-0, it's over. Nobody's going to care about Game 4. Even if Indiana wins Game 4, nobody cares. If Indiana comes back and wins Game 5, there's a little interest, but ultimately nobody's ever come back from a 3-0 series deficit. So now it starts to mount the idea that, maybe this team, everybody acknowledged Kansas City had no shot, but you'll watch it and you'll stick around. You watch it, you'll stick around.
Yeah.
If a team gets down 3-0 in the NBA, that's a wrap. The other team can win a couple of games and it could be over in 6, and that's all good and well. But games 5 and 6, and even game 4, the interest level just drops and drops and drops. This is why you see the ticket prices when a team is down. I'd love to know what the ratings were for Game 4 last year of the NBA Finals, where the Celtics are up 3-0. Like, everybody knew it was over. So unless you get rid of a 7-game format, which they're not because of the revenue that it means, you're just going to have to deal with the fact that you are at a disadvantage from keeping an interest level for the spectator that the NFL doesn't really have to worry about. They just don't.
It just takes away the intense, the drama of it. It just takes away the drama of it. Unless it went to a Game 7. Now, if they found a way to tie it and it went to a Game 7, that Game 7 would be a win. But that would be your best, to your point, that would be your best case scenario is that, a team went up 3-0 on you. Like, I don't care anymore. And then they came back and it's like, they tied it up. It's like, they tied it up? Okay, like, I'm coming back.
Okay.
Because now it turns into what, Jonas? A 1-game deal.
And unless you have that, you're not the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
There you go. I agree. Because you get the build up to one game. Like, think about it. We're on Radio Row all week for Super Bowl ever since we started this show.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a sports show. This isn't a football show. It's a sports show. Every single year we sit in a place and there ain't nobody even there. That's how important that build up to the one game is.
What are you talking about?
We ain't sat not one time with no one out there waiting for the basketball game to start.
What do you mean?
Not one time.
What do you mean? That there was a guy there in New Orleans who was rolling around on a pallet jack like he was at the Indy 500.
The Indy 5. I didn't even know those things went that fast.
Look, I'm looking around for the pallet going, where is it? Guy just took it on a cruise.
Yeah, he did.
Guy just took it on a cruise. So
every morning too. Like, ain't nobody here to get ran over. Ain't gonna be no civilian accidents.
No,
ain't nobody here.
He's got nothing to worry about. You know, like we were more concerned about the walk there than we were really anything happening inside the convention center.
Yeah, definitely had my head on the swivel.